the hands float up to our hearts with a breath in. Now, speaking that guided imagery, let's guide that energy, not imagery, or maybe it's the imagery of the energy in and through you. A little bend to the knees, feel the weight balanced to both legs. There we go. Breathing out through the mouth, into the nose. Circular breathing, they call this. Now let's open up the arms. One more time this year for us before we start next week. Give a hug to each other. We'll put Camilla and Camille in there. Here's for all those other folks, maybe the ones we got to hang out with, see, call, talk to during the Christmas season and even into the New Year's. But most of all, without you, the rest of that doesn't exist. So give a big hug to yourself on the inside. Pick one word that would describe you best. Maybe that's the word for your mantra as we go through our practice. Maybe it's peaceful. Maybe it's funny. Maybe it's artistic in so many ways. A breath in and up. Let that word create an energy signature. Maybe it's a neon lit word. And the letters are just falling into place through you. And let the hand settle to the center of you and just bring into your mind's eye that peaceful place. Maybe your Christmas tree is over in the corner somewhere, or a painting. Or maybe just on the other side of the window, there's the coyote looking in at you. Hands floating in, sinking down. Now here we're going to let the toes rock forward and back just enough that you feel this wavering of weight going forward and back. The toes lift just inside the shoe unless you're barefoot. And the heels, they just lift maybe millimeters. You feel the weight shift into the toes. That's enough. And just rock yourself to blissfulness. In a rocking chair somewhere. And slowly the chair or the swing comes to stillness and you feel that center, right, like a pendulum coming to stillness, drawing through the center of your feet. Whenever the stillness takes place, sink into the earth a little bit, draw the crown of the head up a little bit. And a little shift of weight, like you're going to take a step. From one leg to the other. You pick the foot you want to go to first. I'm exaggerating mine just so you can see them actually wavering in my weight. Now, once you come to center, shift your weight towards the light. So you're going to shift the weight over here towards the light, and then the opposite leg takes a step forward. We're going to switch our feet. Feel that your step is balanced, that as we step, each breath joins the movement. So a breath in, sink, root, exhale. Remember to hinge your knee and bring down the toe. I've seen people hinge their knee and leave their toe up. I can't do it. I don't encourage you to do it. So let the toe come down, let the knee hinge. There we go. Now here the hands come to side. As we take our next step, let's pierce the cloud. We're going to alternate our steps here, okay? Just like we just did. But as we open, we root back, we step back, the hands sink down. Gather up maybe that word we're using for our mantra this evening. And draw it through you again. Maybe there's a place that needs a little healing for whatever the touch of healing that need to be. Healing can be a physical sense, right? If there's a catch in our get along, wherever that get along might be, that each time we open up, pierce the clouds, and draw back to do it again, we breathe out, but breathe into that area that needs that release. Carry this peacefulness feeling all the time with you. And when we reach forward, let the shoulders stay heavy. Preaching to the choir, mine went up, so I'm talking to myself as I speak to you too. Now find where the step fits you best. So the feet are wide enough or long enough in their stance. You feel the weight go from heel, toe comes down, the knee hinges. Open up the chest. Feel the shoulder blades hug the spine. Let's have 3 more. I believe that's 3. I tell you, I'll take 1 more for good measure. You know how I invite you to get lost? I get lost. Maybe this is the one to grow on for the new year. Let our hands sink down, heels under hips, and sweep the energy out to each other, up into the stars, and back down through you. Come to our stillness. Pause. Notice your breath. Maybe you feel your heart beat. Hand float in, sinking down. Let's begin to make the hands closed, but circular motion, like waving hands like clouds. Now I know this is going to be that Qigong movement that we come up to the one leg, but let's just go ahead and just float. Let's get the body, the waist to turn. Open up the spine. Hands are closed with a space in between, like you're holding a golf ball or an egg. We'll let that be a place for your Qi in a spherical shape to swirl. Wherever that color was you chose for that word that you chose for yourself. Now here we go. We lean to the darker side of the room. That hand comes up with the opposite leg. The toe comes up off the floor if you like. If not, sink it down and just find your flow. So we turn to the darker side of the room before we come back. We hold the moon, if you will, and then we lift whatever is appropriate for us, and off we go. Now, if you decide to do this movement in a strength building phase, then the hand that rises here right, would hang onto the chair. And then you would just leave the hand here and just lift and find out where your balance would be or the strength that's there. And here, 2 more times. We're going to lift up, a breath in, and back down we go. The hands, feet sink down, open up. Gather, sink, focus, guide, feel. Pause and breathe. We're going to go back to our first movement in our 8 brocades. Let's hold up the sky. Let's open up the arms. Turn the fingers towards each other as they go up. Turn the fingers when you look up that they're facing towards each other and then sink straight down. Just the best you can. You may feel that a bit in the shoulders when you're trying to turn the fingers in to face each other. Remember at the top, the fingers and thumbs draw down too, just for a moment, right there. And then look up if you like, if this is good for the neck. Let's have 3 more. Then we're going to switch to a movement that I believe some of y'all said was your favorite, or you just enjoyed it the most. We'll do the monkey. As he picks the fruit. Let's do this one more time. Open your wings, if you will. Reach up to hold up the sky. Lengthen the entirety of you right there, a little higher, letting go. Sink down to pause. Become still. Take a little journey through you. From the crown of the head, scanning down through the body. Body parts or layers or organs, whatever we have, right? And just check out some locations in you that if there's any tension, just imagine like it's melting like butter. And drifting down. So we're going to turn first to the side with the light. So this hand, the light side is going to go down behind. The other hand draws across, and the hand that draws across is the heel that comes in. Right, and that steps out. We see the fruit, we pluck, we come back, and we taste the fruit. And then the hands come down. Then we'll switch to the other side. So we come up, heel, opposite side of the hand that rises comes up. A breath in. See the fruit, step, pick and pluck. Draw back in. And center. Here we are. Other side, towards the light. Step, feel the spine spiral, and then float back and spiral, and then come back to neutral. Spiral to the darker side of the room. and see the fruit. What is it? Maybe it's a fruit that you enjoyed as a child and you just can't get anymore. Or maybe it's one you had today. Other side. Let's have two more. Pick your side. Flow and go as we monkey around. Sink, pause, gather the chi. Fill yourself up. When you breathe in, focus to breathe in like we're plugging in right there to the center of you. A little smile outside goes a long way for the inside. A story of fruit. My Grandma Glassmeyer, she would cut the skin and cut the seed out of the apple and then give it to me. And this brings back a whole flood of joyful experiences with Grandma. Hands floating in, sinking down. Let's bring our feet together. Come to a Wu Chi position. So we draw up through the spine. Maybe you're still in that rocking chair with that piece of fruit in your mind's eye. The tongue rests somewhere to the roof of the mouth and the jaws are relaxed. The shoulders feel heavy to the earth. A little tuck to the pelvis, right? Joining the upper and the lower body, letting the waist guide us, flowing one side to the other. Let's open the door to the lit side of the room. We're going to take steps forward. We're going to take steps back. We're going to move sideways. But first, let's open up, make the letter W. Gather the hands into the heart. As we sink down, let's turn to the darker side of the room, repulsing the monkey with a leg lift, as if we were going to walk backwards. Wherever your balance is, right? One side may always be or could be more balanced or stronger than the other. To see how they compare. Find where it's blissful for both. I want to avoid the I'm going to make you do this or else, and then you get the ow instead of the ah. I invite you to look at your hand that reaches away from the camera. Focus on you for a moment. Literally, figuratively, energetically. That's the word I was looking for. Feel the spine turn. Feel the waist turn the spine. Feel the muscles in the back open up. Gather the energy. Draw it in and through the heart. Fill the heart. Maybe you take each heart by each chamber or each heartbeat with all the red blood cells Now here we go. Here's the last one, opening up to the light side of the room so we can ward off. So here we go, warding off. And we're going to take our steps forward. So here we go. We're going to roll back to embrace the moon, to part the horse's mane. So we're going to step forward. Now we're not going to step back, but the hands reach out. We sink back, right? Then the hands pull across, we step forward. And as the hands roll back, we step back. Leave the foot extended and part the horse's mane. Arms reach out, we step back into place. Back to our beginning location. Now we're going to step forward. There's our T step to brush the knee push. Leave the leg extended. We rock back. As we pull the hands across, we'll step back forward again. Root to the leg you step forward with, and then step back. We brush knee. We step back into place, heels under hips, to wave the hands like clouds. And so that means that the foot we just rooted into, so when we stay rooted into and we do our sideways steps, there's the 3. Check the knees, hips, spine. The waist turns the body, right? The arms don't reach to the side. If you want, make the movements even smaller. So feet are together. If they're apart, stay there, because we'll catch up, right? So here we go. We're going to go back. Now I'll let you know ahead of time here. When we do the rooster, we're going to step forward and then step forward. Now feet come apart. Check the knees, please. A little bend. Now here, your descending hand, it's done. There's a last cloud in the sky. Now as that hand descends, the one that comes up will take a half of a step forward when it comes down. So here we go, we come up. Take half a step when you come down. When you come up, you'll take a half a step when you come down. And now we sink down. I know one foot's a little bit more forward than the other, and that's okay. We're going to scoop down to do our lotus kick. Now, we're not going to do any steps other than the kick itself. I wanted to create space for you when it comes time to grasp the sparrow's tail. We're going to step back. Here we go, another kick. Hands reach forward. Let's pull over here to the darker side of the room. Now we're going to step. You're not going to see me, right? Because we're going to do that backward step that goes to the side of the room. But grasp the sparrow's tail. Remember the foot that you're stepping away from. Toes turn the direction that you're pushing and pulling. Now the hands float across. You pigeon toe with the foot you stepped out with. So there's the pigeon toe. Then you root to the back leg now. Pull in, step back in. The hands float up. Then step back again. If you got the space, right? Turn the toe. Everything goes the same direction. Hands, toes face the same way. Now pigeon toe, but this time we're going to step back into place with the toe that's turning right now. So we're going to roll back and turn in. There's the empty step for the white crane, spreads his wings. And just for fun, we should probably do that on the other side, right? So let's open the wings. One time, let's open the wings and fly away. Now the light side of the room comes down. We pull to the light side, draw the energy across, take it back expressively with the arms, send it out. Let the arms sink down. Let your feet draw together, close the door. Come to stillness for a moment. Come back to your breath. Sometimes we focus too much on the movement. We forget to breathe. So feel it literally under your nose. Here we go. Open the door. We sink down. Now this time we rise up, we turn towards the side of the darker part of the room where the blue light is. Rolling back, part the horse's mane. Just one time. One time we step out, part your horse's mane. Now here we will step back into place. We have like 4 movements to do here on the other side. The first being parting the horse's mane. We wave the hands like clouds to step back into place, to come into white crane spreads the wings. And then we wave the hands like clouds again, bring the foot back in, step out to brush knee. Then we go to the other side. There we are. Find your heels back under your hips, feet not together. Because we gotta bring in the T step, right? We gotta brush knee again. And the bottom hand that comes up holds the lute. The other one makes a big movement like Elvis or Jerry Lee Lewis, right? And we empty step out. Then we step the heels back into place. The waist turns us to the center. And let's open, repulse the monkey with a heel lift. Because in this 24 movement, it's a backwards walking movement, only 3 times. So there's a third full movement. Now we still open to the other side, but like we do in the 8, we turn the palms to the camera and we ward off. We roll back to grasp the sparrow's tail. Now we're going to roll back again to single whip, which means it's going to be an L stance. So the toes are going to go to the side of the lit room. So there's the hook. There's the 2 fingers that float up. And we open up, single whip. Remember to hinge the knee, bring down the toe. Wave hands like clouds. So the hooked hand sinks down, we pull across. Stepping in. We root into the foot we stepped in with. 3 steps. So feet should be together. Knees a little bit bent. Pelvis is tucked. Let's go back for 3. Feel the balance of the waving of the body, shifting, balancing upper and lower. Breath in to breath out. 1 more, then we go back to single whip. To the same side we had it to, which is the side we're turning to. So the hand that goes up goes to sword finger. The hand that floats up goes to hook, and there's the step for the L. And we open up. Now we bring the heels about shoulder width apart. We're giving each other a high 5 right here. Press sinking down. You felt the weight shift into the side with the lit side of the room when you step back in. So that's where we go into. We root into this big circular movement. We bring the back of the hands to the thigh wherever your balance is or somewhere thereof. And we step out for a circular punch. So we go to bow stance. I think we did this one last class. But here, the hands open, we step back into place. And to the other side, we shift to lotus kick. Now bring the foot down first. Hook the hand on the dark side of the room. The one I'm waving at you with becomes a snake. So we're going to bring it across. The snake goes straight down and we L stance. Now we're going to pick something off the floor. We sink down. And like we did in the 8, we're going to turn away from the camera to the side. The palm sweeps up and the other comes down. Like a seesaw, like that, right? Seesaw. Now the bottom hand swings up, holds the top of the moon. We step back in. The bottom hand sweeps up. Fair maiden works the shuttle. So this top hand, like we're giving like the sun's in our eyes, right? I can't see. So we step out, give a push. Arms reach. Let's do this on the other side. We have 4 of them. Feel the shoulder do the turn of the hand. The pushing arm always has a little bend to it. Let the arms sink slowly. Let the waist turn the body with the breath in. One hand stays closer than the other. Push. One more time. Then it'll be time to go to the bottom of the ocean. After this one. Here we go. Now here, we're going to step forward. Bring our feet together, needle to the bottom of the ocean. See when you get back. So we hinge our hips and knees. The arms just stay straight. We try to hinge the best we can until our wrists come about the top of the knees and the hands separate. One rests on top of the other. We rise up. Now we're going to open the big fan towards the lit side of the room in our L stance, like single whip. So here we go. We turn out. There we go. The hand that's pushing to the darker side of the room goes to a fist, closed hand, to the back. We step in like we're answering the phone, but the waist turns towards the darker side of the room. That's the spiral of the spine. That hand comes down. The one from behind comes forward with the back fist sinking down. Draw the hand to the side as a circular punch from the side, and the other hand reaches out forward just a little. We step out sideways, whichever foot feels best, that leads from the energy. Now both hands open, fingers face towards each other. We open up like we're scooping water from the riverside. We bring our feet back together. Well, again, what feels natural to you, we close the door. Come to stillness. Take that inward journey. Is there any area of the body that the word that you chose at the beginning of class would benefit from? Sinking down, open the door, wider stance, wider stance. Fingertips and thumbs draw together to the lower dantian. A breath in, we rise. Sinking down, we open up. Like we're putting the moon on our shoulders. Down through the center of you, through the mind, the brainstem, the spinal cord, the ribs, the organs, etc., etc., sinking down. Now, like we open the door, the arms reach to each other, make a way. Same movement on the way down, though. We're going to turn to the lit side of the room. Like we're holding the moon all the way to the side. Take a little extra turn if the body allows. Feel the waist do the turn. And then we turn it over, so by the time you get to facing the camera, your hands are at 3 and 9. Take it to the other side. Leave the hands there. Shift the weight to that side. Let the hands begin to wave like clouds as the opposite leg takes a step out. Wave like clouds. The foot that comes forward is going to be an empty step. Because right about here, we then open our wings We wave hands like clouds again. Bring the empty step in. I know I'm out of camera, but it's an empty step. You haven't, nothing we haven't done before. Just bring it all together here. Brush knee. All the weight goes to the front. The back foot draws forward. We draw the hands to a lotus position. And then we open up our wings. Empty step again to play the peepaw. There we go. There's the step. Wave hands like clouds. Now the palms face away. Instead of towards you, they face away, right? And so the foot that's forward draws back, and that hand, that foot, they join as one movement. 3 steps. Tuck the tailbone, hinge the knees, elbows are bent, spine is lifted, jaw relaxed. Well, how can you be in that place that brings you peace if you're thinking all of that? Well, the attempt is to not think, just be. Now that should be the last step. We're going to part the horse's mane towards the lit side of the room. Find the step that's comfortable for you. Hands sink down. Heels shoulder width apart. Close the door. Feet are all together. Stillness. Like a beautiful pond, not a ripple, not a wake. So here, very informal now, because we did the 8, the 24, and one side of the Wudang 8. So now I'd say what? Let's just flow and let it go, shall we? So we open up. With the arms open to the side. Pick the hand that feels best to sink down to embrace the full moon. Draw it to the other side, take a step out. What movement feels best to you? Are we going to part the horse's mane, or does that just increase until the wild goose flies away? Turn the hands back to facing you. Hold the moon, stepping back into place. Draw it to the foot you brought in. Find what does your body want to do here. I'm going to hold the horse. Sink the foot that stepped out back in. Draw in to play the peepaw. And then wave the hands like clouds. Just 3 times. There's 1, 2, 3. Now here we step out what feels natural to brush knee. Arms reach up, pull and push the mountain. And then ward off gently to the other side. Just stay here, warding off. Shoulders heavy, spine lifted. It's a very important part. Now here we're going to roll back. We're going to create that luau effect. Turn off the fingers. Let the forearm muscles and biceps lift the hands. As the hands sink down like the wind lifts the fingers gently, then they descend back down again as the waist gently turns you to the other side with a breath in. A breath out. Feel the weight pour one side gently to the other. Feel how the knees are bent and balanced. The breath is in. And let go. One more to the other side. Now here we come out to a wider, more like a horse stance. And just pull the hands up and across. It can be bigger if you like. You can sink down a little further if you like. Let the waist turn the body. Let the forearms, shoulders turn the hands. Let the body shift one side to the other. As you shift to the other side, let that side of the hand come down. It stays on the hip. Then the other fingers, index and thumb, draw together. And just pull the silk across the room, making adjustments in your stance as need be. And feel the whole body spiral, wind and unwind. This hand will do one more passing of pulling the silk thread. As that hand comes down, it rests to the hips. Just for a moment, both hands are on hips. And as we turn, the other hand releases like a dragonfly, coming up and flying across. Now, if you can, wiggle your foot out just like one width of the foot. We're going to need it for here. Both hands sink down. You choose which hand wants to serve the tea. So we reach across. And we open up. Feel the body weight shift. Bring the cup over top. We sink down and a gentle lean to the body. Art, don't spill the beans. This hand comes down, the other takes over. Sinking down, look up the best we can, watch the cup over top. Watch it descend. See it spiral, serving tea to you and me. Now we alternate the hands. As a hand descends, we turn to that side that came down so we can open up with the other. One more here. Let your heels find their way back to a comfortable place beneath you. And let's open up and gather. One more time, a big gathering of the energy, whichever direction you want it to be. Now the tiger, the hands open, sinking down. A little hinge, we look down to the hands, they swirl around like we're pulling up the energy. The hands close to a paw. We open up to a claw. Pulling in a big heaping, helping clawfuls of your vital life energy. Now, if you like, breathe in halfway and then exhale up. Breathe in halfway. Exhale down. Maybe that fits you best. One more each. As the hands sink down, let them just open up like the bird's wings, eagle, if you will, and just fly over the mountains. A peaceful, easy feeling. It's a good song, too. Let the arms drape down beside you like an eagle resting on a branch. Feel the balance through the knees, a little bend. And as we began, we're going to rock a little forward and a little back. Feel if the pelvis has done some type of thing where it's not in line. Just invite it to join back where it needs to be. And the spine and the crown of the head. Anytime you like, just begin to do that little side to side rock. No stepping, just rocking. And then come to stillness. And let's open up 3 beautiful times. Sweeping up the energy, those words or word that you chose at the beginning of class. Come back to the color you chose, or maybe you change the color. We lengthen our spine, our mind, our breath, cloaking ourselves in calmness, filling ourselves with peacefulness. And as always, last time this year for you all, I invite you to think about those people, places, things, thoughts, and ideas that bring us health, healing, hope, and happiness into our minds, our mental energy, our hearts, our emotional energy, into our bodies, physical energy. Draw it in, sink it down, let it infuse all of who and what you are to your atomic level.